and close the casket. Thinking he a rapper, we gon' turn him to an actress. I don't ever start shit, but I ain't finna panic. If something don't add up, I just start subtracting. We ain't finna fold, we just keep adapting. I be on that Paulie shit, see, I just be reacting.
What's up, it's your boy Paulie. Welcome back to the channel. You can tell by the title exactly what we get into today. You can tell by the title, this is Poof featuring Marmaid. Wait, okay. It says, okay. Paulie, do that over again. What's up, it's your boy Paulie. Welcome back to the channel. You can tell by the title exactly what we get into today. You can tell by the title, this is Ery'Day Pree, also known as PR Double Stack. And the name of this track is called Poof, featuring another artist by the name of Marmaid. Now, PR Double Stack, aka Ery'Day Pree, is not new to this channel. He has a track that actually made my playlist, my personal playlist, which if you hear me talk, if you're not new to this channel, then you know that any up and coming artist who I feature on this channel, there's a small chance that they could end up on my personal playlist, which to the masses is almost like, okay, it's not that deep. But to me personally, I'm saying that's a big deal because I don't put a lot of artists on my personal playlist. I take my free time listening experiences very, very serious. So I will sit in front of this camera. I will critique artists' music and things like that. But I'm not just listening to everybody's music on my free time. No, I have my go-to artists, my established artists, my independent artists, and my up-and-coming artists that I take very serious as far as me listening to them. So if you don't make that list, you just don't make that list. It don't mean that your music is not fire. It's just not something I want to listen to over and over again. But this artist right here had a track called Crxck, and that joint was a heavy hitter. It's on my playlist as we speak. It's definitely one of them ones. And for me, if you have one track that I could say, yo, I would listen to this all the time, then you good to go. Because if you could do it once, then you could do it twice, you could do it 3 times. Now, in that same breath, I do want artists to make sure that they're being versatile. If you have one style that I like or a lot of people like, it does not mean that you should not still use your creative genius if you have it. Everybody don't have it. But use your creativity to always be thinking outside the box. How can I switch things up? How can I do things slightly different? Because that's what's going to keep you relevant in this day and time. I'm not going to do no more talking. We're going to get into this right now. Like I said, this is called Poof, featuring a brand new artist on the channel. Oh, wait. We got a brand new artist on the channel who goes by the name of Marmaid. So, we're going to get into it right now. We want to see what it's in for.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's your baby. It was magic. Damn, it was magic. It was magic. Goddamn, it was magic. Oh, it was magic. Damn, it was magic. It was mad. Goddamn, it was magic. But that shit went away. You was my babe. Didn't mind being around.
I'm not gonna lie. That beginning is extremely unorthodox. When I first heard the instrumental, I'm not necessarily preparing myself for him to go unorthodox off the rip. I'm thinking it's going to be like more of a slow type of sound to it. It's giving me like a, I don't know, it's giving me an older school feel, but I can't really put an era on it. I can't say, oh, that's 70s, or that's 80s, or that's 90s, or that's early 2000s. I can't really, but it's definitely not the sound of a up-to-date song, which actually catches my attention because I think it's fire when artists reach back into different times, because a lot of that stuff worked and it still works, and it works even better now because the nostalgic feel that it pulls from people like, oh, that sounds familiar. Hey, what's that? That sounds familiar. What is that? So it is giving me sort of a a different time. It's definitely not modern for sure. Let's just see.
Yeah.
Like, what sound is that? And this throws me off a little bit.
It's shit, baby. It was magic. Damn, it was magic. It was magic. God damn, it was magic. Oh, it was magic. Damn, it was magic. It was mad. God damn, it was magic, but that shit went away. You was my babe. Didn't mind being around you every day. I was like clay when you're around me. Plus your mind had mine like me. And I must say, you was gourmet with just tights, white tee, Scarface. I was type hype like you knew lay. Lays noodle down when you bubbled on me. Damn, sweet like strudel, like Google, like jam. Yeah, I was your Tommy, you was Pam. Yeah, sweet potato pie, I'm the crust underneath on both damn sides of them yams. Yeah. Back down magic like Shaq. Yeah. Back down magic like Grant. Yeah. Then I found out you tramping. The way you like to kick a tight mess. I see the signs, but believe it what my eyes wouldn't let me. The little things you would show and tell the breast me. Yes, it did. And of course, the truth came forth when I left it. I didn't sign up for this program, I'm a Crxck. It was magic. Damn, it was magic. It was magic. God damn, it was magic. Oh, it was magic. Damn, it was magic. It was mad. God damn, it was magic, but that shit went away. That shit went away. God damn, it was magic, but that shit went away.
All right, so I'm gonna be honest. What kind of threw me off with this track right here is it says featuring Marmaid, and even though I do feel like I heard somebody else kind of doubling up, especially on that hook. I heard somebody doubling up on that hook, I think, or that could have just been some kind of effect. But other than that, there was no other person on this track, so that's really what threw me off. So I'm listening. I listened to PR Double Stack, aka Ery'Day Pree. I heard him. He's on the hook. Then he has the verse. And then I'm waiting for somebody else to come on after, you know what I mean, towards that end, and it just didn't happen. And it really, it confused me. I rock with the instrumental. I still can't place what time period that is. I feel like he went semi-unorthodox because his verses were not really, none of it was really unorthodox. You know what it felt like to me? And I feel like this was purposely done. I'm almost like 99% sure this was purposely done. It's like you know how the instrumental hits, if that makes sense. I don't know the technical terms for it, but you know when the instrumental hits, and then he was like purposely just a little bit off from there. And I feel like, I don't know how I feel about that, honestly. I could tell from the instrumental, even though I like the uniqueness of the instrumental, I could tell by the instrumental that this would not be a track that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to put this on. You feel me? This is not something that I would just, how can I say? This is not a song that I would hear once and say, yo, run that drum back. It's just not my personal style. The biggest thing that perplexed me was I didn't hear a feature like in a traditional sense like I thought I would. But it was definitely something with that hook that whoever that was, if that was somebody, I'm pretty sure that was somebody. Imagine if it wasn't. But something has to be going on because it says feature. So that really threw me for a loop. It made me feel like wait, I don't know. But as a whole, I like the creativeness when it comes to a track like this. I'm going to have to run it back. I love the creativeness because I'll be honest. You want to know why it's really hard for me to even get my insight on this? I don't think I've ever heard a track that sounds anything like this. Semi-unorthodox on a very unfamiliar instrumental for me. It's just, this is a totally different sound that, in all reality, I would have to hear this multiple times to even really say, do I like this or do I not? And I'm saying that honestly and truly because there have been tracks that I'm like, yeah, that really wasn't my favorite. And then I go back into editing and I'm listening to it. I'm like, yo, this joint is actually this is a bop. Like, this is a joint, like, for real. That's happened multiple times. It doesn't happen every day. So I'm not going to be like, that happens with everybody's song. But it does happen. I listen to it later. I'm just like, yo, why did I not hear this, before? Sometimes you have to tune into other people's frequency with what they're delivering. I keep hearing the topic that, shout out to K Lenz. Shout out to K Lenz because in his interviews, one of his questions that he asked, he says, if one of your, what does he say? He says, if one of your friends makes music or wants to make music and you hear it and it's trash to you personally, are you going to tell them or should you tell them? Now, in my honest opinion, from sitting in front of this camera right here, listening to a lot of people's music, you got to be very mindful. You have to be very careful when you just flat out saying somebody's song is trash for multiple reasons. One reason is just because you think it's trash, it doesn't mean that other people are going to hear it and hear what you hear. For example, I guarantee most people that rock with this artist right here, unless you have an extremely diverse catalog, and some people do. So, if it applies, then cool. If not, that's fine too. But I know there's people for sure out here that despise heavy metal rock music. So if you despise the sound of heavy metal rock music, loud guitars, loud drums, a dude with long stringy hair screaming into a microphone, if you can't get with that, then you might personally say it's trash. But then there's a whole demographic of people that love that kind of music. So to answer that K Lenz question, even though we're not on K Lenz, we're on Paulie Reacts Reviews, but shout out to my guy K Lenz, he's doing his thing. To answer the question, you can't say somebody's music is trash because you're not tuned into that frequency. So when I sit in front of this camera personally, I'm trying to see, okay, what was the mindset when bro got into the studio and decided to make this right here? What was his, and again, he's not here to tell me, but what was his idea? What was his thought process when he was doing it? And I try to listen to it with that ear. Not the ear like, oh, this is going to be, my favorite artist is T Grizzly. So my man's, if he don't sound like T Grizzly, I think it's trash. Or my man's, he's just starting to rap and he's getting a feel for it, so I'm going to tell him it's trash. No. Listen to it with an open mind. Listen to it with an open ear. Listen to it multiple times. Like I said, I'll listen to a song once and I'll listen to it again. I say, yo, I don't even feel the same way I felt when I first heard it. Or I listen to it in editing and say, yo, I feel like I like this more than I even conveyed on camera. So that's my ramble session. But when I sit here and do music like this and when I can't really get a feel for it, I'm never going to say it's trash because guess what? I go and tell somebody their music is trash, then another person hears it, and next thing you know, the song's on the radio and millions of people are loving it. And I just told my man that his music was trash. I'm going to look like a goofy. So, yeah, that was my, that was my random, small, large, I don't know how long the ramble session was. Okay. That was my ramble session for the moment. We're going to get back into this. Again, very different sound. That uniqueness is always going to capture my attention because I really want to know the backstory. I want to know I darn near want to see behind the scenes on what was the thought process when you put this together. But let's run it back for the vibes. Let's see what to say it for.
Yeah. It's your baby.
See, like that beginning part, it goes from that like super, I don't know what you want to call that instrumental. I don't have the words to explain what that instrumental is. But then it goes into the like that part is, it's like giving me a gem. It's giving me a key, not a gem. It's giving me a key that, yo, this is about to be unorthodox. It's like that's the warning. Because even that is kind of like oddly placed. Not in a bad way, but it's like the intention of it is to like get the intention of it. I'm going to say the intention of it was to get your attention. That's what it was though. The intention is to give you that heads up like, yo, this is not going to be like nothing you heard before. And again, I can't be mad at that because anybody that's deciding to go out of the norm and use their creativity and say, I'm going to make this a thing. Whether you think it should be a thing or not, you can say it's this, you can say it's that. I'm deciding to make it a thing. So I got to commend anybody who's thinking outside the box, thinking out of the normal stuff that everybody keeps doing over and over again, because that's honestly, that's boring. At some point, why would I want to keep hearing the same kind of music? Everybody sounding the same. So I'd rather tune in to something like this and say, okay, what do he got going on? Okay, he's making strides and efforts to be different. I want to see what's going on with it. It like reminds me of like a older sitcom type of background music type of sound. I keep it a beat. I like that hook. I like the way that hook is put together. It's super simple, but it was magic. God, it was magic. It was magic. So that's almost the part. That's okay. So that's not really that unorthodox. I feel like it sounds. You know what I'm starting to realize? It's the instrumental that I gotta listen to this verse, but it's the instrumental that I feel like might be throwing it off. I'm thinking that I'm feeling like something's off with him rapping, but I think it's whatever's going on with that instrumental that's making it sound like it might be unorthodox, and it's not.
Yeah.
That part is throwing me off every time.
It's your baby. It was magic.
I definitely hear somebody in the background too.
Damn, it was magic. It was magic.
So it's him and somebody else.
God damn, it was magic. Oh, it was magic. Damn, it was magic. It was magic. God damn, it was magic, but that shit went away. You was my
You know what it is? So he's pacing himself. So he's not unorthodox with it. He's pacing himself on an instrumental that I feel like there's no bass line to hit on, if that makes sense. Like I said before, I don't have the specific names. I'm sure there are some technical terms. I don't have those, but that's what's off. So if this was on a different instrumental and he's saying the same thing and you could hear boom, boom, where he's hitting it each time, this one it's just not there for that instrumental, and it's making it seem like just I don't want to say off, but it's making it seem off. That's what it is. But could that have been his intention? And if that was his intention, or if that is his intention to change into a different style, then it easily could be a thing where he would have to make music that sounds like this on these type of instrumentals enough to where it's almost like, okay, that was my first introduction. I kind of got it. Boom, I'm hearing this. Oh, okay, now I'm getting, sometimes you have to, if this is what you want to push, if this is the style that you want your audience to hear, then you sometimes have to do it even when people's ears are not adjusted for it. Because if you do one song and people are like, and again, this is just me, other people, I would love to hear what other people have to say about this. If other people, okay, so say I'm saying what I'm saying now. Say other people are saying the same thing. It doesn't mean stop making it like this because people are saying it sounds off, or I don't get it, or I don't like the instrumental. And it's not like I don't like the instrumental either. I just don't necessarily like it for the flow that he's using on this. I feel like it feels displaced a little bit. Because again, I'm listening to the words of the hook, and I'm like, okay, it was magic. God damn, it was magic. Like that's a nice flow. That's a nice pocket to be in. Is that not? It was magic. It was magic. It was magic. That's a smooth drum. But on the instrumental, it makes it. I don't know.
Didn't mind being around you every day. I was like clay when you're around me. Plus your mind had mine like me. And it was mad. Goddamn, it was magic, but that shit went away. You was my babe. Didn't mind being around you every day. I was like clay when you're around me. Plus your mind had mine like me. And I must say, you was gourmet with just tights, white teeth.
No, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's the instrumental. Cause bro chatting, he talking, he flowing, he got a flow. His flow is steady. You see what I mean? If you listen to it once, I'm like, yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Bro got a little bit of an unorthodox flow, but he doesn't. So if I would have left it at that, then run it back, I would have been telling bro he got unorthodox flow. He probably like, Paulie, what are you talking about? He has a steady flow. The instrumental is what's making it off. But guess what? That could be something. I'm not trying to justify. I'm just thinking in my head. Like I'm just spitballing. I'm just, brainstorming. That's all I'm doing. You know how people have a specific instrumental and they'll purposely rap unorthodox on it and it works? Mind you, everybody don't like that. Everybody like, yo, he can't stay on beat. But some people like unorthodox sound, just like some people like heavy metal rock. Like everything is not for everybody, but doesn't mean you don't make it for the people that are going to like it. So just like the person who's rapping unorthodox on an instrumental that they could easily just ride the beat, pause, no diddy. In this sense, the instrumental is the unorthodox part. Again, very unique instrumental. So I like the fact that you picked it. But I'll be honest, I don't know what flow could have possibly been used on this instrumental that would have made it sound different. But to clarify, bro is flowing on his jaw. So if you try to tune back the instrumental, you just hear him rapping. He's floating. But with that horn, that trumpet, what is that? Saxophone? It's just, I don't know. But could that be something new? It could. It really could. I would really just have to hear him make more music this way. Think about it. We coming from Crxck Files. I'm gonna let y'all hear Crxck Files after this for anybody who didn't hear it. But we gonna play this. Matter of fact, we're gonna listen more. Cause I wanna hear the hook come back in and back to the verse. Just so I'm sure. Let's do it justice. We're not gonna just go to something else because that's not what we're really here for. But I do want y'all to hear that track as well.
Like you knew lays noodle down when your bubble don't make. Damn, sweet like strudel, like Google, like jam. Yeah, I was your time and you was Pam. Yeah, sweet potato pie, I'm the crust underneath on both damn sides of them yams. Yeah, back down magic like Shaq. Yeah, back down magic like Grant. Yeah, then I found out you tramping. The way you like to kick a tight mess. Hey, I see the signs but believing what my eyes wouldn't let me. The little things you were showing tell the breast me. Yes, it did. And of course, the truth came forth when I left it. I didn't sign up for this program, I'm a great scared. It was magic. Damn, it was magic. It was magic. God damn, it was magic. Oh, it was magic. Damn, it was magic.
It was magic, but that went away. I am glad that I gave this a second listen to really, really pick it apart and see what was going on. Because if I would have just heard it once, I would do exactly what I said other people do. They hear it once and they give their opinion, but it's almost like, hold on. What are you basing your opinion off of? Are you basing your opinion off of every established artist that you've loved since you were 12 and you listen to the same artist every day? If you're basing your mans off of if you love listening to Lil Durk and you basing your mans off of Lil Durk and he don't sound like Durk because he from Delaware and Delaware rappers don't rap like that, you might say, bro, it's trash because you all over in Chicago drill instead of seeing what we got going on right here. So you got to think about it. Is your man trying to be out the box and do something different? Or is he trying to do what everybody else is doing? So you can say he fired. And then nobody's going to pick him up because they don't want to keep hearing the same thing again. Or are you saying, yo, bro has a different sound that's unique. Let me tap in and see what he got going on, what his mindset is, what his mind state is. Think about this right here. Bro can flow, and I knew that from the last track that I'm about to play right now. Bro has a flow. He can rap. I actually saw a couple different places on social media where people were saying he's one of the top guys in the area. And now, from Crxck Files, again, that's the song that made my playlist. When I heard it, I was like, can't be mad at that. Also can't be mad for somebody stepping out the box and doing something else. We know you can do Crxck Files, so I know you already got it. You already did Crxck Files, so I already know you got it because if you could do it once, you could do it over and over again. So you already got that. So I'm not mad at you stepping out the box and doing something different. Because guess what? There could be a whole demographic of people that say, yo, I want to hear this. This is what I want to hear when, you know, I'm going to say when you go in the club. This is not really a club type joint, but I don't be in the club either, so I don't really know what a club type joint necessarily is. But, you feel me? It's just, I love the fact when artists are purposely being diverse. I love when artists are purposely thinking outside the box. Like I said, closer to the beginning, I don't think I've ever heard a song that sounds anything like this. That's a good thing. Because I'm not saying, oh, the flow is trash. I'm not saying, oh, the delivery is trash. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying the instrumental feels off. But guess what? If that's the new thing, if that's something that you're starting up and saying, nah, this is how I'm going to give it up. This is how I'm going to do it. This is the music I like making. I can't be mad at that. Because you're going to find people that's going to be like, yo, it's something about that. That tune, that background, that instrumental, it's something about that I like. Another thing is, too, you get enough people to like it, and the people who didn't even think they like it going to start liking it, too, just because that's what people do. So you get enough people to like something that sounds like this, and you're going to have a bunch of other people that swear they like it and they've been loving it from the whole time. Especially it's going to be your peoples, too. Yeah, man, we knew you could do it, man. Remember I was in the studio with you? I heard you mumble in the studio saying this was trash. Oh, that wasn't you? Oh, okay. It is what it is. Like I said, I'm kind of rambling, but it's cool. Let me see if I can find it. As a matter of fact, I know I can find it if I go on this page right here. Shout out to Ery'Day Pree, a.k.a. PR Double Stack, man, for sure. Oh, nah, it don't even oh, yeah, Crxck Files is right here. First time, I'm like, this gave me that back alley type of.
Turn me up, bro.
You see the face? And he's chatting on his joint, too. He talking. We know you could do this, bro.
Yeah.
We know you could do this. Let me pause it. That's why you guys step out the box, man. I'm not mad at it. I can't be mad at it. Nah, real rap, I can't be mad at it. We know you can do this. And you do this very, very, very well. We know you can do this. I'm happy you stepped out the box and said, let me do something totally different. Because that don't sound nothing like this. And I can't be mad at that either. I can't. Whether it's my cup of tea, whether I'm going to play it every day in the car, that don't matter. The fact that you say, I could do this, people are going to want to hear this. We know that for sure. People are going to listen. People going to want to hear this.
It's your baby. PR Double Stack, nigga.
Yo, talk.
I was out the burbs getting 20 money. sprint, used to gallop like blitzing running. Caddy Princeton, dance while I dash with Comet. I was Cupid with the crack, old vixens bought it. You had that white rain, my shit was the shade of mine.
And what?
Pac-Man, pack moves like a racing Milo.
Okay.
I meant Milan, treated fiends like they knew my mom. And on the calm, I piped a couple johns. Nah, for real, for niggas say he ain't never fuck a fiend, sell crack, nigga. That's my POV. Nigga got some head or something. Knew right away I had different grams. They hit that rose, they fake arms. Nah, for real, for niggas say he ain't never fuck a fiend, sell crack, nigga. That's my POV. Nigga got some head or something. Knew right away I had different grams. They hit that rose, they face pose like terrific head. Maddie blooped the cougar, used to lend his rooms. Me and bro brung bad bitches through like it's the W. For the W, fiends on me like a bugaboo. In love with my drugs, my dubs for the VW.
And if you know, you know. But that's the thing. That's the thing. This is for a certain that's this. I thought my hair. Okay, never mind. Oh wow. I had lifted my hair, my hat. Okay, never mind. This is only for a certain demographic of people. Now, other people are going to want to hear this too and say, I never ever been through that. But you giving a day in the life. You mean you chatting, you giving, you know, somebody actually went through exactly what you talking about from though. Even the little segue part when you start just talking. Yo, people been through that. So they going to relate on that level, and people who never been through it are going to be intrigued, so they going to want to hear this too. So I said this is for a certain demographic, but it is and it's not, because people that live in the suburbs that they never ever had no clue that anything like that was going on, they going to be like, yo, what did he just say? So, again, we know you could do this, but you showing and you proving that, yeah, I could do this, but guess what else I could do? I could do something else. And guess what? That could be his everyday thing. No pun intended. That could be his new wave that he's starting right over there with the other track. Or he could just be like just seeing what he could do. Because if you got one thing down packed, it don't mean that you got to hit people in the head over and over with it. Switch it up. Try something different. If it don't work, you already know you can come back to this. And he don't even have to talk this talk, because he could use an instrumental like this and he could use the same flow and he could be talking about whatever he's talking about. He already got it in the bag. Right now he's just talking about crack files, which is what it is. If that's, like he said, if that's his POV, then he's just talking about life experiences. So yeah, shout out to PR Double Stack, aka Ery'Day Pree, bro. Keep doing your thing. Again, I would love to know the backstory on how you decide to create that track. The track is called Poof. The original, the link to the original video will be down below in the pinned comment. Go check it out on your own. Let me know what you think also in the comment section. Say, yo, Paulie, I get what you're saying. Yo, Paulie, I don't know. I heard something different. You know, I felt like he was more unorthodox. I felt like the instrumental was kind of straightforward. I want to hear everybody else's take on it as well. I'm going to listen to it a couple more times on my free time just to kind of get an ear and just to see. And I'm also going to tap in with some other stuff that bro has going on too. I'm intrigued. See, you know what? Last thing I'm going to say. Music that can make you think, whether you like it or not, is the best kind of music. Because I could have heard this once and I could have heard it again. And I could have really turned off the camera and just said all the things I said. But music that makes you think, I wonder what made him do that. I wonder what made him choose that instrumental. I wonder what made him use that flow on that instrument. I kind of know why he used the flow, because it's a very straightforward flow to where that instrumental is not going to mess you up. Because it's like I said, it's no real, it's no place where you can necessarily place the bar setup, if that makes sense. I could be wrong with the terminology, but needless to say, see, I get to talking too much and I lose my whole train of thought. Just the fact that you have a song that makes people think more, I want to know what his thought process was. Most songs I listen to, I don't necessarily want to hear I don't want to know the thought process. I'm just like, okay, it's a good song or it's not a good song or whatever. But this actually has my gears going and has me thinking. So yeah, like I said, keep doing your thing. Like, you definitely on the right track. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You're thinking outside the box. You're being very creative. You're just, you know what I mean? It's nothing more for me to say. I feel like it's something else I want to say about it, but it's not. I'm going to end it here. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you are brand new to the channel. This original video will be down below in the pinned comment. Please go check that out. I said that, but I wanted to make sure. I said that once, but I wanted to make sure I said it again just in case. If I know I said it, why would I say it again? That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. I love y'all so much. See y'all next time.
They gon' close the casket, thinking he a rapper, we gon' turn him to an actress. I don't ever start shit, but I ain't finna panic. If something don't add up, I just start subtracting. We ain't finna fold, we just keep adapting. I be on that Paulie shit, see, I just be reacting. Couple shots hit him, lay him out in chalk. Shot him in the mouth, that was for the talk. Saying it's my time, got me checking on the clock. Where you get that attitude, I got it from the block. They be talking tough.